Hey YouTube, I am Stephen LaDon Childs. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and tuning in for another video. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Today's subject is why am I not voting? I see a lot of people talking about they voted, they're voting, they're getting ready to vote, and their decisions on voting, and I'm unable to vote due to a situation that occurred that now has taken my privileges away from being a citizen that can vote. What happened? I'm gonna share the story with you. It happened a couple years ago. Um, let's see. Where should I start with this story? Um, Okay, I went to jail. Like I said, I went to jail. I was live. Well, actually, I'm gonna start at the hurricane we had in Bama, Georgia. Yeah, the hurricane we had in Bama, Georgia damaged the house that I was living in. So a friend, I was posting all about it on Facebook about how the house was damaged or whatever, and a friend referred me to a woman that gave me a house. Well, actually, it gave me and him the house, but he never was there or whatever. And we was just, I guess, childhood friends or whatever. But he was never there really. So it was like a one, two, three, four bedroom house, two bath, big front and backyard. So I got this house by myself after the hurricane, and I moved in the house, and a few months later, I met this woman, which caused the situation of me not being able to vote. So and I'm gonna jump back to what happened, and then go back to why it happened. Um, what happened was I went to jail. I was charged with an aggravated assault against that woman that I was trying to date. And I went to jail and I bonded out for aggravated assault. I went to um, I think two different hearings after being bonded out. Went to the courthouse on two different occasions, and the female never did show up. So at my last appearance in court, I thought it was thrown out. So I never received any information or mailing. I haven't moved um since that ordeal had happened. I never moved. You know, well, actually, I did. I moved from the location where it happened to up the road, but I'm still currently in Baton Rouge. I updated all my information and everything. It wasn't like authorities couldn't find me, and plus, I was continually going over to the courthouse for the courthouse or even the jailhouse for one matter or another, dealing with family members or such as my sisters or whatever, just going over there putting money on their books. So it wasn't as if no one could find me. So when after the incident happened, um, I think this must have happened even um like 2019, perhaps 2019. Yeah, I'm thinking this incident happened. The initial incident had happened in 2019. So um that was my initial arrest, the initial incident that happened. So then push forward to what, 2019, 2021. 2 years later, I done moved on. I hadn't seen the woman, probably couldn't recognize if I did see it, or moved on, got my apartment. Um, Actually trying to work. I'm trying to work down there in Cairo at the nursery, but I had hurt my bike at that particular time, and they had me on medical leave, just light duty or whatever, but not knowing how severely I had hurt my bike, sending me to the doctor. But um, it was also my mother's birthday. It was on March 29, 2021. So I had went. I was working at temp service, and they just had me on light duty. They wouldn't send me out. They had me just walking around downtown, but doing just walking a lot. Walking a lot aggravates the issues with my bike. And I told them that, so they told me just to go home. They didn't want me to work doing it. They'd be with me in pain. So it was my mother's birthday. I had a whole bag of fireworks, and I later that night I had a whole bag of fireworks. So I took them over my grandma's house, and I had this fire drum, and I pulled the fireworks in the drum, and just kind of like late at night. I don't know, it was real late, but it was dark. Um, I put all the whole bag of fireworks in the fire drum, and started on fire, put leaves and wood and everything in there, and it just exploded. Pew, pew, pew. And I'm like, happy birthday, mom, inside of my grandma's yard or whatever. And I had aunties that come out cussing out, cussing, just like, what's going on out there? Boy, don't make me come out there with the gun, all laughing and joke because they know who it was. They know it was me, and I'm all the way over there in grandma's yard, so, at one point or another. Um, but some of them started coming over there. My aunties, my auntie and my little cousin. I'm just having something to say. So I put the fire out and went over my other auntie house over across town over behind the little grocery store. But by that time, let one of my auntie tell it now. One of my auntie Pam had called the police on me. So evidently they followed me over to my other auntie house and was talking about the neighbors calling the police, and I'm thinking I'm sitting in my auntie yard calling her like, auntie, they call the police on me, I'm in your yard, I'm in your yard, but I'm on the other side of town, and another auntie then called the police on me. So, and saying that the neighbor did it, so I'm all over there at the neighbor house like, why y'all calling the police? I'm just sitting in my car, I ain't doing nothing. So then he gonna run my name, and then they talking about something they had a warrant on me for aggravated short not appearing in court for this incident that happened like 2 years ago. And I'm like, y'all been looking for me 2 years for an incident on me not showing up in court. So they take me to court on my mom's birthday with my car parked in the yard. That's I still had the 100 Santa Fe. So I leave my car parked in the yard. I'm in jail when I go to jail March the 29th. I'm in jail all of April. Um I think they let me out like April 28th, April 29th or something. Just right at the beginning of May of 2021. I go to court. Um, I go to court and I'm still telling them I didn't do it. I had been telling them that the whole while. I don't know. They had their whole version of the story, but I had already been in jail. When they got me, brought me from the back to the front. My lawyer told me, he said, well, you could take a plea right now, and you'll just have a fine and 5 years probation, and we can let you go right now. But you going and try to take this to trial, um, you will have to. I'm not sure if I can beat it, or you could defend yourself from that. And this being a felony charge, and it weighs over 5 to 10 years or more. So at this point, I'm like, even though I didn't do it, he had me write out a statement and saying, I did such and such and such, and I plead guilty. But I had already been I went in front of the same judge before that I had seen before, and I'm telling them that I had been telling her I didn't do it. So then I had to turn around and come back in front of the same judge and say I did do it. It was a lady judge. I never forget that. I remember how she was looking at me when I said it, that the second time, like I did it, like she remembered me and knew who I was. So I after that after pleading guilty and then being released. They let me go right there. As soon as they took me right there in the back, and the judge had told me, "Well, you free to go." They got my paperwork done and everything. Told me that I had probation and who to report to and what to do, and after all that. So then come to find out, I had probation. It was on felony probation. This is my first time ever being on felony probation. If I ever been in trouble, anything, I had the misdemeanor little city probation or whatever. So I didn't really know or understand what was going on. This is my first time ever been in trouble or having something of this magnitude. Did not know that the difference between a felony and a misdemeanor because I never had been charged with anything like that before. Um, but that what happened. That's the what happened. But the reason why it happened, let me get to that. Now that's what happened. So after what had happened to me, you going to court and and the judge telling me I'm on probation and all that, and I just report to my probation and pay on my fine, and that was the consequences, the results. But how it got to that point, after I got the house, moved into the house, a 4 bedroom, 2 bath house or whatever, I met this female at the public library one day. Actually it was Valentine's Day, February 2021, and I think it was my daughter's birthday. It was from Valentine's Day, so I'm just going sitting in the library, just spending time with myself, and I seen this female. I went to talking to her. We exchanged phone numbers. We talked a couple of days back and forth, texting one another, and then probably wasn't even a week. And in the middle of the night, she texting me, telling my son, "I'm such and such place. Will you meet me?" I'm like, yeah. So at that time, I didn't even have a car or nothing. I didn't have a car at that time. So I'm walking to meet her, and I'm walking like I stay on one side of town where I stayed at. It was like a good ways, like I'm like on one side of town, and then I'm walking like way past McDonald's, like I almost out the Blights, like or something, which is like a good distance. So that was like, and that wasn't even a week span of time for me meeting her, and on Valentine's Day on the 14th, and probably like the 21st or the 22nd, we linking up. It was kind of like a 7 day time frame of just calling each other, texting each other. So we link up. She spent the night with me that night, and then leave. Like she don't moved in at this point. After that first night, she don't moved in, but she stayed with me. She had a little job that she was doing. I forget what it was working because it's been a while now. I'm telling you about this story in 2000 and what is this, 2002 now? Yeah, it's 2002. So I'm telling you this story like what 3 years later, 3 4 years later. But yeah, she had her little job at the mall or something. She was doing roses or something. Um, but she moved in. She had got her little money. I think she was doing taxes or something around by this time when we first got together. It was like February. Um, End of February, 1st of March, she had got her little taxes or whatever. She moved in with me. She bought the kids a lot of stuff. She already had a car. It was in the shop. But she paid to go and get it towed to the repair place and put some more money on getting her another car. She went and got a little PT Cruiser. Um, and she got a lot of stuff for the house. I let her and I think she had two little girls and a boy. Let each one of them get their own room, and me and her shared a room. So this goes on. We were doing pretty good. She was working. The kids would go to school. When she would get them, she would get off. She'll pick the kids up. They'll come, and They was there with me. I was helping them doing little stuff right there, like that or whatever. I remember one incident. One the youngest one had the little cabbage patch. The cabbage day or something. They supposed to be growing who can grow the biggest cabbage. So I made her little flower thing in the yard or whatever. Like we was getting all this was like getting along good or whatever. She had some caseworkers to come over there and talk with me and everything. So like we was getting along good and like, no problems. We never really had no argument before this particular incident that happened. Um, oh yes, she had a friend that stayed around the corner. I think that's what started off. She had a friend that stayed around the corner that worked with her, and I think she was like feeling herself that she had got back on her feet and was doing good. So she had like went and stayed out and drank and got high, whatever. She mostly just like the plus my knowledge, just like to smoke weed. At that point, I was just drinking, which I almost always do my drinking and my cigarettes. Um, but I dibble and dabble back in my addiction at that time. I think at that time I was kind of on the ins and out. But she had went off and stayed off all night with one of her friends and came back and stayed over the weekend and then came back and then I'm like trying to forgive or whatever. We had went through a whole argument about it, but whatever. But then come to find out, I wake up, then I'm burning. I had to go to the get a damn a shot, penicillin shot, and then she done burned me. So we arguing about that. And then she leave again and go and stay a while. And then she come back and I'm thinking she piking her stuff up, but oh yeah, she piking her stuff up, but I'm still trying to forgive her. I'm a forgiving person. We don't mind, like she in the house, she coming back and we gonna be together, whatever. But she comes back and like she just in the living room, the kids in there, they came back in their room and stuff. And next thing I know, I had been in my little room, my little office working or what have you, and come to find out I get up to go lock me fix me something to eat and she make sure all the doors were locked. And I goes in the living room, the door's kind of cracked, but everything else is shut down. The two little ones is in the living room. She done took them out of their room, and she is using their room with some guy. I guess they was in there smoking or whatever, because when I opened the door, I could not eat. When the fumes just hit my face, I couldn't even do. I'm just standing there in the doorway. She naked, and they just started having sex. They fucking right there. I'm like, what going on? So me and the dude start going in and at it, and then she trying to protect him. So I'm pushing, trying to push him out the door. Me and him are locked up, and I'm pushing him, trying to pick him up, push him out the door, scoop him or whatever. And she dragging on me, so I turn and I push her. I push out both of them out the front door, and shit the front door. Then the oldest daughter come out her room. I want to be with my mama, and I open the door right back up right quick like, and she runs out. But the other two, the little boy and the little girl, they really the youngest ones. They still sleep. They sleep right there in the living room where beside the bed, front living room bedroom where her mom where the mama had took her out and was in there with the man. So she don't let a man come in the house where I don't let her and her kids move in with me in the house. After she done gave me an STD and all this other type of stuff. That's not, it's like if she was, and then texting me telling me something. I hate things turned out the way it did. I hope we can make things get back to where we was. I mean, like she was just texting me while at the same time she got a whole nother man, done brought a whole nother man to my house. And then, um, by the time things was like diffusing down or whatever, I opened the door to go because they was just changing words with me through the door, and then the other two little kids right there. So after I had let the oldest daughter out, um, I'm standing at the door with the little boy and the little girl down there. Like, look, she's like, get my children or whatever, get my children. Then next thing I know, I hear some hits. I hit side of the house real hard, like boom. So I open the door, and they running up the road. They running up the road. I run out there to the road. She done went like a block. Her and him and the other little girl. So by that time, no, then by that time, I'm hollering down the road at the man like, y'all better going on, whatever, such and such and such. And I'm the one that even call the police. I call the police, and by the time the police get there, I get arrested. They saying, they telling the police I hit them with a hammer. I'm like, I was in the house. But either way, long so that's what happened. They said I hit her with a hammer. It was all their words against me, and I wound up getting charged with aggravated assault. Um, I did, I think initially a month in jail. Probably a month, almost a month. The first time when they first initially, no, not even a month, but it was probably like a week. And then I got bonded out. And then like 2 years later, they came back and got me, and I did a month. And then they put me on felony probation with a fine and revoked my ability to vote until the probation is over. I received something from the Decatur County Voter Registration, a letter that states that in due to this is what the letter said. This office received information that you are currently receiving a felony sentence. No person currently serving a felony sentence can register or remain registered to vote until until completion of the felony sentence. State law requires that our office remove you from the registered voter list 30 days after the date printed on the top of this notice, unless you request a hearing before the county board of registers within 30 days. And then it has a code, which is OCGA 21-2-231. Then it gives the Decatur County voter registration address and whatever. Yeah, man, I received that in the mail, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. And I was back in the days, I was like into this Naked and Afraid or whatever. Naked and Afraid, yeah, Naked and Afraid. But they go and live like 28 days out in the wilderness or whatever. I met this girl on February the 14th. By March the 12th, all this was going on. And then 2 years later, same month in March, but it was at the end of March. I think when the initial incident happened, it happened at the 1st of March. 2 years later, they come back and get me at the end of March on my mom's birthday and lock me up. But yeah, that's why I'm not voting. Sad truth. And I probably left out the fact that I know to me it doesn't matter, but personally, but in all society, I think they was all white. They was all white. The female that I was talking to was a white female. The man that she brought into my house was a white female. Her children, the two little girls and the little boy, was all white. But it was known, caseworkers and everybody come. Like we had a seemingly good relationship. We had good communications or whatever happened. I think due to outside fighters, like she said, she was just getting back on her feet. She was feeling herself. She had a few episodes or where she would go out and stay out with friends or what have you, and things just spiraled out of control. Miscommunication. But I'm not a violent person. Like telling them I didn't do it. When I came out the house, they would run up the road. I did the change words with them. I did push him out the house. I tried to push him out the house, and she was trying to defend him, so I pushed her out the house, let the little girl out. But no one was listening to me that night. They went and searched the house. And then they was telling them I had a hammer. I hit them with a hammer. They went straight in the house, searching the hammer. I had a lot of tools in there. They went through all the tools. They said I had a yellow hammer. I hit them with a yellow hammer. When they found it, a yellow hammer. They went and found a yellow hammer. And they charged me with aggravated assault. And that's just why I'm not voting today. And I am currently still on probation, paying a fine. Because I caught the woman I was dating in a house with another man naked having sex. I'm on probation for that. So I'm on probation for that, and being my voting privilege has been it's suspended. Yeah. So I know that's a while I carried y'all through that, but I just been seeing everybody talking about they was voting and everything. I guess that was a traumatic experience for me to bring it back up. But thank you for tuning in. If you're new, thank you for subscribing. Until next time, y'all have a blessed one. And what quote should I give y'all for today? Maybe I can give you. I don't think I had gave it to you before good enough. So I'm gonna give you the quote that I gave to you a couple of videos before. Your happiness cannot be measured by what you do. I repeat, your happiness cannot be measured by what you do, but how you feel about what you do, and knowing yourself. Always here I go. Your happiness cannot be measured by what you do. I repeat, your happiness cannot be measured by what you do, but how you feel about what you do, and knowing yourself, which allows you to appreciate the situation for what it is in you doing what it is required of you and giving it your best. I'm gonna have to read that one again myself. Your happiness cannot be measured by what you do, but how you feel about what you do, and knowing yourself. It allows you to appreciate the situation for what it is in you doing what is required of you and giving it your best effort. So it is what it is on that one. Take it, the message, and you run with it the best that you can. Thank you again for tuning in, and thank you for subscribing. Until the next one, I have a blessed one.